Alright, I'm talking about Halo again. I know, I'm a day late and $1 short. So 343 Industries recently responded to some of the community questions and concerns on the official Halo Waypoint website. And in this post, they talked about stuff like, are we going to get a multiplayer beta, questions about the story, and just generally answering the biggest questions the community had. But the biggest question they answered was about the graphics. And basically I'm just going to quote what they said here. First, we want to acknowledge that yes, we've heard the feedback coming from parts of the community regarding the visuals in Halo Infinite campaign demo. While we see and hear far more positive than negative, we do want to share a bit more context. From our perspective, there are two key areas being debated around the community: overall art style and visual fidelity. Based on our learnings from Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Wars 2, along with strong community feedback, we decided to shift back towards the legacy aesthetics that define the original trilogy. With Halo Infinite, we're returning to a more classic art style, which was a key message going back to the very first reveal that garnered enthusiastic and positive responses. This translates to a more vibrant palette, cleaner models, and objects with less noise, though it doesn't mean less detail. And while we appreciate that may not be everyone's personal preference, we stand by this decision and are happy to see it resonating with so many fans around the world. The second theme being discussed involves visual fidelity. Negative feedback in this area includes comments around characters and objects appearing flat, simplistic, and plastic-like, lighting feeling dull and flat, and object popping. We've read your comments, and we've seen the homemade examples of retouched content, and yes, we've heard the Digital Foundry assessment. In many ways, we are in agreement here. The build used to run the campaign demo was a work in progress from several weeks ago, with a variety of graphical elements and the game system still being finished and polished. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress, the other aspects of the feedback have brought new opportunities and considerations to light that the team is taking very seriously and working to assess. We don't have firm answers or outcomes to share yet, but the team is working as quickly as possible on plans to address some of the feedback around detail, clarity, and overall fidelity. The team is committed and focused on making sure we have a beautiful world for players to explore when we launch. So my concern with that statement is, will they have enough time to fix these issues? At this point in time, they have a little less than 4 months till holiday, which is when the game is supposedly coming out. And I personally don't think they'll delay this game, since this is Microsoft's biggest title for the Series X. But I do think they will be patching this game quite frequently after launch. I'm not too worried about Halo, since most of their time was probably spent on enemy artificial intelligence. And if you have an open world and you have to design enemies that will properly work in that open world, and as we have seen, the enemy AI in Halo Infinite appears to be slightly more complex than in previous games. Just the fact that brutes will now be able to throw grunts and fusion coils at you, and if you shoot an enemy in the leg they will stagger, is super fascinating, and I'm sure that there is a lot more they haven't shown us that I would love to see. And lastly, before I go, Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to be free to play on Series X. Now, they didn't specify if this was going to be on PC or not. My guess is that they're probably going to put it on both PC and Xbox Series X. Considering Microsoft is going for the esports crowd with Halo Infinite, making it free to play would definitely make it more accessible to more people, and allowing more people to get into the game and purchase microtransactions. And with that, microtransactions is a concern to me. So, if people are going to be buying Halo Infinite, surely they won't have to pay for microtransactions, even if they are cosmetic. I mean, if you're buying the game, I think you should have the ability to earn all of these cosmetics that will supposedly be microtransactions. But we'll just have to wait and see, and obviously we've only seen 8 minutes of gameplay and no multiplayer gameplay at all. So hopefully they'll release more information soon, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let me know your opinion about all of this in the comment section below, and as always, have a wonderful day.